We have to honestly say that there have been challenges this year, as there are with strong personalities and individual identities everywhere, but there have been moments of unity and sweetness as well. You have taken care of each other, collaborated on some great projects, including the first middle school student council with successful activities and spirit days and assemblies. Some of you participated in math competitions, rocketry launches, robotics, and science fairs, and actually won. Some of you have made pottery and painted portraits, and all of you have made soup and raised money to stave off food insecurity here in our town and in a place in the world that you have only read about. Some of you have worked behind the scenes to foster harmony and understanding within your class, encouraging each other and quietly facilitating the learning of others. And some of you have kept your classmates and teachers in stitches with your humor. Some of you have hurt each other's feelings and have worked to restore relationships. You have learned about yourself in the process and have taken responsibility for your impulsive choices. And that takes courage and is also a sign of the seeds of genuine wisdom. The world needs these qualities more than at any other time, at this time in our history. Most of you will be with us next year. Some of you will move on. You will be joined next year by new students from places like Vietnam and Nepal. And you will need to use your social emotional learning to reach out to them and make them feel welcome. And you will have a new set of teachers as you migrate towards the other end of the hallway to study Spanish with Mrs. Ellinghaus, CCLS and World Geography with Dr. Pullman, and English with me. You will travel over to Foster Hall twice a day for biology with Miss Asha, and you'll probably have math with Mr. Aikar, or perhaps with our new math teacher, Mr. Lettery. And oh, did I say English with me? Yes. You have grown in every way this year, and will have so many more opportunities to grow next year through projects and on sports teams, through community service, and more leadership opportunities. You will continue to face conflicts, but you will resolve them more quickly and with less pain this time around. And you will like who you are becoming individually and as the class of 2026. I'll be here to meet you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Antariksha Sharma.
And my name is Pujita Mukadam, and we will be your hosts this afternoon. Thank you for joining us for our middle school graduation, whether that be in person or online. We are here to celebrate the hard work of our middle school class throughout these past 2 years. These past 2 years have been filled with exciting projects such as Empty Bowl, Sustainable Living, Drama, and many more. With so many ups and downs, highs and lows, we are proud to say, congratulations 8th grade, you get to graduate.
Before I introduce the first speaker, I'd like to kindly ask you to keep your applause brief, as we have quite a lot of speeches to get through. We'd also ask you to power off your cell phone now before we begin the ceremony. Thank you. So let's begin. Our first speaker is Eva Covedo Rubio, who will be giving this year's commencement address. Eva was honored with the 2021 Maharishi Middle School Award for Excellence and has very kindly joined us today to share a few words of wisdom. Please share your appreciation for Eva.
Hello, guys. You're graduating from middle school today. Some of you are sitting there thinking to yourselves, it's only middle school, it's not a big deal. That's because it happened to me last year, but it is a big thing. 2 years of your life have passed, and while some of you may assume you have little to show for it, that could not be further from the truth. You've grown, not in just the sense of getting taller, but also in the sense of becoming the person you're meant to be. You've evolved your own thoughts and perceptions of the world. Even if you don't believe it, you've learned a great deal. In just 2 years, you've challenged yourself and made the people in your life so proud of you. So what are your plans for the next 4 years in Maharishi School? What will you achieve? What about the time after you've left us? How many peaks will you climb? You have the entire world at your fingertips. It is up to you to conquer and transform the world. Maybe deciding how do you want to live your life will take you years, or maybe you already know. Maybe you already know and will change your mind, which is okay. Maybe you'll get lucky and start on the right way on the third track. Or maybe you'll start down the path that isn't right for you. You're going to get hurt and fall down. It's likely that you won't want to get back up when this happens, but you must. Will Rogers said, even if you're on the right track, you'll get run over if you just sit there. So don't be afraid to try new things. When I joined the speech team this year, I regretted it because I really did not like public speaking or performing in front of people. But trying that changed my experience, and now I feel a little bit more comfortable with it. Don't pay attention to what people have to say about you. The only opinion that really matters is your own. You only have a limited amount of time here, so make the most of every minute. Take in all the information you can and make the most of every chance that comes your way. You guys have done so much these past years, and honestly, high school is a step up in difficulty, but it's also a step up in having more opportunities to do the things that you love. Congratulations, guys. See you next year.
Thank you very much for coming and talking to us, Eva. It's a pleasure to have you speak with us today, and we wish you the best to prepare for the great.
And now we begin to introduce the presentations from our 8th grade class. The students of the class of 2022 would like to share with you our experiences of striving for excellence by sharing a class friend's achievements and rise to excellence throughout their time in middle school.
I'd now like to ask my co-host, Antariksha, to approach the stadium to speak about my achievements and rise to excellence in my 2 years in middle school.
Frida Mugadam, what hasn't she done this year? From robotics to rocketry, from interact to tennis, from science fair to math camps. Throughout the last 2 years, Brigitte has struggled at not procrastinating, learned public speaking skills, and excelled in school and in all of her extracurriculars, which highlights what a hardworking and determined student she is. Through her experience in science fair, she improved her confidence and public speaking abilities, which helped her win awards and enhance class presentations. In order to conduct the experiment, Brigitte had to learn how to follow an engineering design process, how to document research, and how to present a research paper. After presenting her research to expert judges in the field who were suitably impressed with her project, Brigitte was awarded first place in her category and other special awards like an invitation to participate in Broadcom Masters, a nationwide competition for the best middle school science fair projects. Brigitte also participated in sports in middle school. She was on the school soccer team in 7th grade, and she said it was a huge learning experience for her, as well as one of her best memories from 7th and 8th grade. In soccer, Brigitte got her first real experience in playing a team sport against schools, and she was a great team player who would be willing to push her boundaries and try to help wherever she could. Another passion of Brigitte's is tennis, a game she's been playing since she was in 3rd grade. Her participation in USTA, or United States Tennis Association tournaments in Iowa, most notably in the Des Moines area, to gain more experience, is a testimony to her dedication. Tennis taught her how perseverance and practice made her a better and healthier person overall by spending hours almost every week working hard to perfect her swing and focusing on mastering different aspects of her game. These skills allow her to excel at anything she sets her mind to, on and off the court. Brigitte is an amazing person on the inside. She's caring, compassionate, and a wonderful human being. She's always the first person to notice if something's different about you and never hesitates to engage her pleasant, inquisitive nature. Did you get new glasses? Is your hair different today? It's a bit scary sometimes how much she notices, but it's also really nice when she's the first person asked, "Are you feeling okay today?" and then proceed to tell a bad joke to cheer them up. Thanks for being such a good friend, and congratulations on having a fantastic middle school experience. I wish you all the success in high school.
Thank you, Antariksha. Now please welcome Max to the stage, who will be speaking about Robin's achievements and rise to excellence throughout middle school.
Robin has had a good year this year. It has been filled with many accomplishments, such as attending school regularly, better handwriting, and good grades like A+ and B+. I see him every day working hard in every class he's in, and he seems to be quite happy at Maharishi school, and I'm happy for him. When Robin first came here from China, I was chosen as a classmate to sit with him at lunch, and we became friends. As he was the only other boy in my class, he is a really kind friend, and I think he will make many friends when he is older. He has also improved this year on social skills and communication skills, and is definitely less shy than he was at the beginning of the year. I'm sure he will be a great applicant to any job that comes his way in the future. I hope you have a great time next year in high school, and that you make many friends. Congratulations, Robin, on making it through the 8th grade, and I do hope you have a fun time in high school.
Thank you, Max, for those very kind words. I'd now like to ask Kieran to approach the podium to speak about Michaela's achievements and rise to excellence in their 2 years in middle school.
Michaela's 8th grade year has been one of their best years yet at Maharishi School. They did better in mostly all their classes and have at least B's in most subjects. This is an amazing improvement from last year, which shows that middle school has been extremely productive. Michaela is really good at presenting anything because of their more laid-back type of writing. One of their best writing pieces this year was their Black History Month slideshow about the Tulsa Massacre. This presentation took several weeks to finish and was very worth it. When they finally presented, they really showed why they had to take so long making it. With the help of Mr. Corbett, they had to stay after school, take many lunch breaks off, and a couple of late nights to perfect it because they're passionate about the topic. Michaela is a really nice person, is really easy to talk to, and is always willing to be there for anybody who needs company. They offer good advice, possess great social skills, which make them the best candidate for vice president or student council for 2 successful terms. I think Michaela's best achievement in middle school is their art. They have crafted astounding paintings that I personally never thought a middle schooler could do. Over 2 years, they improved their hand-eye coordination, use of perspective, and all-around painting and sketching skills, which made... When Michaela was trying to sell their paintings originally, they didn't communicate with the public much. Instead, they waited for someone to try to buy one of their paintings. That didn't work out very well. So they started talking to people and trying to openly sell their art, and it worked. This improved not only their business skills, but really improved their social and communication skills. I want to thank Michaela for being a good friend and congratulate you on making it to high school.
Thank you, Kieran. Our next speaker will be Sony, who will be speaking about Aditi's rise to excellence since joining Maharishi School.
Aditi has had a fantastic learning experience since joining middle school in January. Such qualities of responsibility, thoughtfulness, and willingness to step out of her comfort zone when needed have truly helped to achieve excellence and meet her goals. After having schooled in England and Texas before coming to Fairfield, this was quite a transition, but Aditi has adapted quickly and integrated admirably into school life. Aditi challenged herself daily to participate more in class and events to help build up confidence and come out of her shell, striving further each time to engage more. One of Aditi's proudest achievements this year included input into the recent Empty Bowls project, which allowed her to step up by planning the event, volunteering, and collaborating in a team, as she made ceramic bowls, designed posters, and helped bake cookies. Taking part in this project gave her better insight into what volunteering and teamwork truly are, while enhancing several skills such as expressing greater confidence in discussions that could be helpful throughout life. Aditi became more comfortable with acting in drama class, and has further learned to express herself in art, through painting a self-portrait with color scales and using the grid method as a guide to refresh artistic abilities. She enjoyed working on several other projects in 8th grade too, including the slideshow The Poetic Influences of Jacqueline Woodson and Langston Hughes, and the Black History Month project, in collaboration with myself, which I enjoyed very much and learned so much from her. Working on an insightful study guide based on the book Stamped, and writing an essay comparing 2 different formats of expression, diving into the life and legacy of Anne Frank, were 2 of her literary highlights. Aditi further deepened her skill of communication during her work in ELA, Social Studies, and CCLS. ELA has allowed her to advance her expression through writing comprehensive answers and essays. In Social Studies, Aditi has created and presented multiple projects, allowing her to strengthen her eye contact, inflection, and delivery. Aditi believes that most of the successes achieved by her and the rest of the class were possible and rewarding because of good communication, which will pave the way for more successful accomplishments in the future. Aditi intends to focus on her studies and participate even more in our extracurricular events next year. Aditi has ambitions to go into the field of medicine, aspiring to become a psychiatrist or plastic surgeon,
But first, looks forward to exploring the areas of medicine to see what fits her best. Congratulations, Aditi. You're going to become an awesome high school student next year. And thanks for being such a great friend.
Thank you very much, Sony, for sharing your experiences and for rising to excellence to graduate from middle school. Our next speaker will be Pujita, speaking about my achievements throughout middle school.
Today, I will be highlighting some important aspects in middle school of the person I've known for 7 years, Antariksha Sharma. She has had an epic 2-year journey, and I'm excited to share some of her most significant achievements with you. Antariksha is a hardworking, unique individual who is willing to take on multiple challenges and strives to overcome them by pushing herself and others to achieve their full potential. One challenge that Antariksha took on in 7th grade was to finish her 7th and 8th grade math courses ahead of the rest of her classmates. For her, this was a significant achievement because she has worked hard since 4th grade to go ahead in math. Not only did she complete all the lessons, but also understood everything. Antariksha has the unbelievable ability to always get her assignments and projects completed on time with the best efforts. Antariksha is an amazing leader. In group projects or assignments, she makes sure that everyone is on the same page and doing their fair share of the work assignment. This skill really shined when she was elected the first president of the student council, and she proved her collaboration with the other students. In that role, she recognized everyone's position and allocated responsibilities according to interests and skills. She ensured that all events that were put on were what middle schoolers wanted, yet understood that if student council members weren't willing to show up to something, then no one else probably would. Math Counts is a competition for middle school students in Iowa who have an interest and ability in math. Maharishi achieved 3rd place in the first round in 7th grade for Simone's chapter and got through the state. How could you top that? Well, this year she got 1st place in chapter and got through the state again. However, the dates of the state competition clashed with science fair, another passion of hers, and unfortunately she had to face the biggest decision of her time in middle school. She didn't go to state. From all this, she learned resilience and became more confident in her math abilities, while her test-taking skills skyrocketed. 50 middle schools from Iowa competed at the state science fair in Ames in March, where Antariksha received an honorable mention in all junior categories. She gave a wonderful, confident presentation of her project titled "The Effects of Headphones on Teenage Hearing" in various competitions, which impressed the panel of judges immensely, who awarded her the prestigious honor. Antariksha is a wonderful person to spend time with and interact with. She has a unique sense of humor and is always ready to use it to brighten your day when needed. Congratulations, Antariksha, on a successful middle school journey, and I know you'll be even more victorious.
Thank you, Pujita. Now I'd like to call on Robin, who will be speaking about Mac's achievements and his rise to excellence in Maharishi School this past year. Robin, please come to the podium.
Grade 8 has been a great year for Max. Since December, he got much faster at reading, from 141 words per minute to 448, and his comprehension went up as well, from 55 to 100. And even though I've only known Max for about 8 months, I can see how 8th grade changed him for the better. He also improved at making presentations, like his solo presentation on Canada for CCLS, Consciousness, Connections, and Life Skills, which impressed the teacher, Miss Ruffin, and also with his presentation on Martin Luther King Jr. in collaboration with me for American History class. Max's handwriting also improved through practice, allowing teachers to grade his work easier, and that was also a contribution to his overall improved grade. He also learned to focus better in American history class, which improved his grade by a lot. He says that history class is his favorite lesson because he likes learning about the past, and his grades reflect it, as it is the subject he is doing the best in. He enjoys learning about the past in general, as he does not have a specific favorite in terms of historical events. So overall, Max has improved in numerous skills and grades this year. Congratulations, Max, on a fantastic year, and I'm sure you'll have an even more successful year in high school.
Thank you, Robin. Our next speaker will be Aditi, who will be speaking about Sony's rise to excellence since joining middle school. Please come up. Sony has had a wonderful 8th grade experience, accomplishing many feats and learning new abilities that have better shaped her ideas for the future, which enhanced her values and principles and taught her manners. Sony enjoyed the project period classes and events throughout the year, which helped her grow as a person and learn valuable lessons to take into the future. One of the accomplishments Sony is proud of is her participation in the Empty Bowls event between February and April. She had the chance to experience teamwork and learned many collaborative skills while being able to integrate her creativity into drawing posters, colorizing, and writing appealing advertisements. Another fulfilling aspect of the year was as first secretary of the newly established Middle School Student Council that she took on for the first semester. Transcribing notes at meetings and reporting back to the council improved her organization and communication skills. This helped Sonia to develop her analytical thinking, while at the same time recognizing problems and seeking resolutions with other council members, helping them as well. Sonia has done well in all of her projects, improving during the year by adding more detail into her projects, which helped her build on her better. She's especially proud of her essays and pieces of writing, such as the Anne Frank comparing contrast lesson for ELA, comparing a timeline about World War II and the entry of the style. She is also proud of her slideshow, expressing the poetic influences of Winston Smith's and Japanese history. I had the opportunity to collaborate on that and seeing the detail and the amount of effort she puts into research and notebooks and then signing up for more. The food waste audit was also an important project for Sonia, and she expressed it as one of her finest achievements. Students learned about food waste and the issues presented, leading to the conduction of food waste audit to see how much food was wasted in the cafeteria, along with interviewing students about the reason they wasted. This project gave Sonia insight on what sustainable living is. The process of making an audit and expanded her group projects by working together. For Sonia, hard work, determination, perseverance, team spirit, and effective communication are some of the life skills that she was able to apply and build on during the year, which have helped her to accomplish more. In high school, she was curious about taking part in sports and rocketry and is willing to learn more about potential career prospects in these fields. Congratulations. May you have a wonderful year.
Thank you, Aditi. And now to our final middle school speech will be delivered by Michaela. They'll be speaking about the achievements and experience over the last 2 years with their friend Kieran. Please come forward, Michaela. Kieran and his surprising motivation and perseverance have helped him reach his graduation from middle school today. He started 8th grade back in August not knowing if he would like the experience, but with making friends throughout the school in and out of his grade, being able to keep his head on in all classes, participating in an official soccer team for our school by going to games and bonding with friends he already had while making even more, made for quite a spectacular year regarding his future and how he treats the people he's grateful for in his life. Kieran has been proactive in improving his grades. 2 years ago, he realized he needed to take drastic action when he faced consequences due to his depleting grades. Kieran felt sad noticing his gradebook averages were dropping enough for his parents to take notice. That's when he decided that it would help to talk to his teachers, Mr. Corbett, Miss Ruffin, and Mr. Benedra to work towards the grades he knew he could achieve and also avoid being grounded once more to make his parents proud. This helped Kieran realize how important his actions, or lack of them, affect his work and the people around him who want to see him do his best. Kieran has excelled in PE. Early last year in grade 7, he described himself as physically fit, but with the help of his parents who helped him to develop his upper body strength by playing volleyball and going outdoors with him regularly over last summer, he's now comfortable with his physical ability and he's become better and more confident in the sports he plays. This helps both me and him when gym class comes and you know what you would like Kieran on your team for and what you'd rather skip out. I also find Karen to be both funny and extremely honest in quite a way. I remember when I'd ask Karen a question, whether it was about schoolwork or what day it was. Karen's answers tend to be final and honest with either an I don't know or a direct answer. And that's what I like about him. He's a straight to the point guy, and I find him extremely trustworthy. I also like to bring my opinions to him because he gives me a different point of view in an honest way. I like that Karen doesn't sugarcoat or talk around anything with me. I find this to be a healthy trait between us because I'm happy that Karen has pushed forward finding happiness, staying honest, and keeping happy. And keeping healthy. I've never been prouder. May freshman year be blissful and open a new door of possibilities and fun experiences.
Thank you, Michaela, and thank you very much to all our presenters. This year was a great year with great classmates, friendships, and wonderful speeches. Thank you all very much for sharing your kind words of wisdom. Antariksha and I will now hand over to Sonia and Kieran, who will take you through the next part of our ceremony, the appreciation speeches.
Thank you, Brigitte. Good afternoon, everybody. At this stage of the proceedings, the 8th grade students would like to convey our appreciation and give some special thanks to those who have made our experience in middle school a memorable one. I'd like to invite all grade 8 students to the stage to join us on the stage. The appreciation speech to open up all of them, I would like Michaela to talk about our parents, to give us a poem.
To the ones who gave birth to us and grew us from young, to the ones who taught us when and how to have fun, I want to thank you for all your love and dedication. You bathed us, fed us, cleaned the gross messes we've made. The stories my mother tells me of when I was little quite literally make my spine shiver. To the parents who have supported their child in this very road, you've done an amazing job ever since the womb. To our parents we love, whether they're here or above, we're so excited that you can see us grow up.
All right, second, I would like to invite Sony to talk about Mr. Corbett.
Mr. Corbett, we're so grateful you were having you as an English language arts teacher during your time in middle school. You were very kind and thoughtful, always considering everything you do, your students, faculty, and staff. Even during the constantly changing situations and times, you always took time to ensure that your students gained a solid understanding of what they were learning and skills they were developing as growing students. For each learning project we've engaged in his classes, Mr. Corbett consistently provided us with meaningful feedback and guidance, which proved to be really helpful. For me, this was instrumental in greatly enhancing my writing skills. The diversity of the projects he chose for us, including roleplay and debates, expanded our horizons and made learning fun and impactful for all of us. Aside from your outstanding qualities as a teacher, you've continued to impart us with valuable life skills to enable us to develop into kind, responsible, and compassionate beings contributing to the world around us. Thank you so much for all you do.
All right, next, I would like Robin to speak about Ms. Bhakta.
The 8th grade would like to thank Ms. Bhakta for teaching us math in an easy to understand way and helping us in the areas we struggle in. Ms. Bhakta is always willing to explain difficult concepts like the Pythagorean theorem to us when we say we don't know how to solve the problem she presents us with. She teaches us in a kind and funny way. I personally think she is a very kind person and is the best math teacher I've ever had.
All right. Thank you, Robin. Next, on third show, talking about Mr. Icott.
On behalf of the 8th grade class, I would like to thank Mr. Eichar for being an amazing tech literacy and Algebra 1 teacher. We are very grateful for the guidance and help you provided us when you exposed us to the vast world of 3D modeling. While highly knowledgeable in technology, Mr. Eichar also has a deep understanding of mathematics. He never fails to amaze us when he teaches us new ways of looking at concepts. We love your teaching style, playful humor, and delicious food. For those of you in the audience who don't know, Mr. Eichar is a fantastic chef. Thank you very much for everything, and we can't wait to see you again in high school.
All right. Next, I'd like Pujita to talk about Ms. Higgins.
Thank you, Ms. Higgins, for always making science fun and engaging. You make learning joyous yet educational. Games are fun, especially online ones, and when they're mixed with learning, it's a win-win for everyone. That is the exact strategy that Ms. Higgins uses to lighten the load of work, yet have an enjoyable time with the whole class engaged. The information is much easier to digest when it is presented in an entertaining, relaxing, yet intense game of online tag.
Next, I would like Sony to talk about Ms. Ruffin.
Ms. Ruffin, it's been a pleasure to have you in the consciousness, connections, and life skills teacher during middle school. Your easygoing, cheerful demeanor allows us to develop our own intrinsic qualities more fully, while learning so much from you. Always care deeply about your students and incorporate fun and interesting activities and assignments into your classes, such as the Empty Goals event, which kept us engaged in the projects we worked on. You've always shown dedication and put in hard work to enable us to grow in various aspects of life. Your encouragement and kindness is deeply appreciated by your students in the graduating class. Thank you so much for all you do.
All right. Next, I would like Michaela to talk about Mr. Moorhead and Mr. Wilkins.
Miss Moorhead is the amazing woman who opened my eyes towards pottery. It was an activity I did in 7th grade with the 8th grade at the time. We used clay and basically formed little boxes that we then proceed to decorate the lids and outside parts of our piece. And using glaze, we used glaze and then painted it. Miss Moorhead presented that the sky's the limit. And with this freedom came a love for this activity and a strong curiosity into how I could make other items, cups, big spoons, plates, and maybe even bowls. Because Miss Moorhead introduced me into this genre of art, I was able to make this. And I mean, yeah. I feel, oh, I made this, and then the tree outside, I put the nuts in it because the food is edible in the nuts. And then I went on to Mr. Wilkins to make this. Yeah, the whole, yeah. And then recently I made this. Yeah, it has a lid, so it's better. Thank you, Miss Moorhead, for not only introducing me to pottery, but also presenting kindness in your tone and demeanor. Though we're stuck to saying hello to each other in the hallways, I hope that this shows my appreciation, and you're able to tell how much your class has influenced me in a positive way. And then after Miss Moorhead, I went on to Mr. Wilkins' class. Mr. Wilkins is the kindest, most down-to-earth man, no pun, I have ever met. I had issues writing this because I didn't know what to say about him. There's just so much talking as if you all know him. So here's how I've measured Mark if you don't really know. Let's imagine this is your first day in his class, and reasonably so, you're anxious and nervous. Going into a new environment is tough sometimes. You enter the classroom, and there's this fun, energetic, kind man greeting you, offering tea, displaying different flavors and where they come from, while openly stating that if you're opposed to tea, you
can have hot chocolate, or both, but maybe not at the same time. This man is Mr. Wilkins, and his bubbling personality stays welcoming and true throughout every class. Because of this, I found it hard to explain who he is as a person, because it feels so obvious as if everyone already knows him. When I first joined the pottery class after school, I was intimidated by the amount of people there were, so I didn't talk much. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if anyone told me that I didn't talk the whole class period. Mark had always shown me kindness and respect, even when I wasn't really much to say one back. And for this, I thank him. He's an amazing teacher, and I have the utmost respect for him, not only as a leader and guidance, but a human being. His patience and ever-knowing knowledge in pottery has taught me patience in tough times and rough beginnings, resilience from a wobbly bowl to a rather large plate. But most importantly, Mr. Wilkins has shown kindness. I haven't spoken much past a hello or bye mark, asking for help creating a bowl. I want you to know you've influenced me in a way that's changed me for the better.
All right. Thank you, Michaela, for that. Next is a DT talking about Ms. Hanson.
Miss Hanson has always been a bubbly and upbeat teacher. Her enthusiasm for drama and partaking in activities always influenced her students to participate and enjoy all of their lessons. We constantly partook in many activities, which always brought the fun out in drama. Whether that was interactive games like freestyle, where we improvised scenarios and would yell for people to go up, continue to sing and have our own music, or Do You Love Your Neighbor, where we would take our shoes off, ask random person if they love their neighbor, and depending on their certain people would run around, hoping to find out they found shoes. They come to us after could not explain those games properly, but they were really fun. Simple yet enjoyable games like these were what brought life into the lessons and made Miss Hanson as amazing as they were. She was an inspiration to everyone in the class and always pushed us to bring out the best in our acting, even if it wasn't as fun as some of us who didn't want to go up. Regardless of that, she's an amazing role model who visibly expresses her love for drama and shows us how to love her. Thank you for your drama success. It brought out my confidence.
Next, I'd like to invite Michaela and me talking about PE teachers. We want to thank all the past PE teachers for helping improve everyone's physical fitness. We want to thank Miss Sane for giving us a fun 7th grade PE. We'd like to thank Mr. Higgins for putting up with the entire middle school this year and still doing an amazing job. We also want to thank Ms. Higgins for coaching us in soccer last year. Lastly, we want to thank Mr. Wise as well for setting up the entire physical education so we could have these experiences.
I'd like to talk about Miss Wallace. She taught us handball for PE class and learned a new dive shot. You might be thinking, what is a dive shot? Well, a dive shot is the last shot you take before you make a goal. So if you're right-handed, it goes left step, right step, and then you like jump and throw. And if you're left-handed, then it's the other way around. And learning this has got me personally into fitness and how certain parts of your body work. Miss Wallace has introduced that when you throw with your arm, your core muscles in your stomach also contribute to its successful throw. How she explained this was easy to understand, and her tone stayed kind throughout the time we had PE with her. I constantly see that same kindness through Kieran, Jace, and Micah whenever I get a chance to talk to any of them. They have an amazing role model of a mother, and I've learned a lot from the short time you've been one of my teachers. Thank you, Ms. Wallace, for your contributions to the school. I find you to be an amazing teacher and communicator. Thank you, Michaela. Next, I would like Robin to come and speak about Miss Sonia and Miss Yamini, our reception staff.
Thank you, Sonia and Miss Yamanur, for greeting us positively each morning and taking care of us when we are injured. For example, if we have a headache or a cut, they will always be there with ibuprofen or a band-aid. So thank you for all the times you were there for us when we needed help.
Next, I would like to invite Prajeeta to come and speak with Ms. Emmy, our academic administrator. Thank you, Ms. Emmy, for always having a welcoming smile on your face. You are always ready to help anyone with any problems they might have, whether it be with RenWeb or general information. You are always ready to step in and help anyone with anything they need, which can sometimes even be looking for someone. You always remind everyone of any important events that might be happening. Thank you so much for your hard work, Ms. Emmy. Thank you, Prajeeta. Next, I would like Max to come and speak about our custodial and food service. Becky, Jenny, Candy, and Boo.
Thank you to the custodial staff at Maharishi School, Becky, Jenny, Candy, and V, for keeping our classrooms and everything else nice and clean. Thank you also for keeping us safe during COVID and sanitizing the school. We are all extremely grateful to you for happily serving us delicious vegetarian organic meals for our time here in 7th and 8th grade.
Thank you, Max. Next, I would like Aditi to come and speak about Dr. Bell and Ms. Balls, the co-heads of our school, and Ms. Jacob, our academic director. The school heads have made a tremendous impact on our school and all of the students as well. Not only have they all played a major role in the development of the school, they have also always been there for the students, even if they don't. I may not have had many experiences, but the positivity they emanate is very strong. Not only from me, but from all the students. They have always been willing to spend time with all of us while simultaneously managing the school, which shows their dedication and sincerity to the work. Something as simple as greeting someone in the hall and remembering their name, playing frisbee with classes, or even prepping judgment may not seem like a lot, but have always been important for all of us. The kindness they have expressed to the students shows how keen they are on spending time with them, regardless of their challenging duties ahead. For that, we are all thankful for all the work they put into the school, but also into your relationships with the students. Thank you, Dr. Bell, and Ms. Jacob, for everything you've done. We will forever be grateful for your kindness. Thank you for your kind words, Aditi. Finally, I would like Kiran to come speak about our founder, Maharishi.
We want to thank Maharishi for founding the school and bringing everyone together to make this wonderful community. We want to thank him for integrating his ideals and morals and principles into our education system. We also want to thank him for introducing meditation to not only our school, but to the entire world. Thank you.
Thank you to all of our teachers for helping us along the way on our middle school journey. Please stand to be recognized. Teachers. Thank you to everyone who made it possible for us to graduate from middle school today. We will never forget our journey and could not have done it without your guidance and support. And now we will hand to the fiction. Now it is time to introduce our two awards this afternoon, which will be presented to two students in grade 8. The first award is the Alexander Grace Award To share a few words about Alexander, I'd like to invite our very special guest today, Mr. Chris Grace, Alexander's brother, to join us on stage. I invite you to show your appreciation for Mr. Grace.
Take the mask right off. So, for every award, it's named after somebody. Obviously, there was a real person behind that, and I'm here to just tell you a little bit of that person's story. We're the eighth graders. What? Cool. I'll just listen to that. So, yeah, Alex was my brother, and like you, he roamed these halls and tried to get into mischief whenever possible, and just really enjoyed life. We always hope that life goes smoothly. There aren't crazy obstacles or crazy challenges, but when they do happen, it really shows one's character. I don't know if you guys have minor challenges or big challenges, no challenges at this point. But for Alex, he went from having a very carefree life to having a very serious challenge early on. Remember, he started having headaches at home, and he loved to do ballet dancing. He was always into himself all the time. We thought, oh, maybe it's just it turned out those headaches were actually ingrained in his head. And he was like, I don't even know how to handle this. What is this? But the doctor said, look, you know, you can help him. He said, I'm just going to keep pushing forward no matter what. They asked him, why? Why do you want to push, be so courageous and not kind of fall over and he said, I want to dance. I want to keep dancing, to follow my passions no matter what. And so for about 8.5 months, he really pushed, and we just saw this courageous little dude bring out his warrior self and inspire everyone around him. He never complained, even though we were complaining, and we just thought, who is this guy that's so much greater than all of us? And then in the end, when it was time to kind of give up the fight, we saw him just peacefully be like, okay, I resign myself, I'm not going to fight anymore. And we thought, wow, he's not just courageous, he's full of wisdom too. He knows when to stop fighting and just kind of go with whatever nature wanted him to go with. So he inspired so many people that we thought, well, the staff here thought we should have an award to really represent those outstanding qualities. So if you're the person winning this award, you also have outstanding qualities that are making everybody around you so proud to know you. I don't know who it is. I'm excited to hear it too. I'll pass this off to the presenter. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Grace, for coming to speak with us today. We very much appreciate your kind words and information about Alex and what the award signifies. Mr. Higgins will present this year's Alexander Grace Award for courage, kindness, integrity, and wisdom to the student who has epitomized these 4 characteristics over their time in middle school. We'd like to invite Mr. Higgins to join us on the stage.
Each year, the Maharishi School honors the memory and legacy of a former student, Alex Grace, by identifying a graduating student who has displayed the school's highest ideals, courage, kindness, integrity, and wisdom throughout their time. This year, we are celebrating a student who truly embodies these characteristics. A person who radiates kindness and friendliness, embraces challenge and welcomes change with admirable humility, while at the same time combining the finer feeling level of the heart with a keen and clear intellectual purity. It is easy to imagine this student adding goodness to our future world through her dedicated service, and defining service with 2 fundamentals. First, as harmlessness. Second, as enhancement. The best service does the least harm and enhances as value and beauty. Such service follows the ancient medical caution, first, do no harm, allowing us to imagine service as a way of healing the world's ills, which it does by raising the quality. The Maharishi School has been blessed with a glimmer of that special touch, and we look forward to seeing it radiate out to the world. We are proud to honor Sony 2022 Grace Award, bright future ahead. Flowers.
Thank you very much, Mr. Higgins. As Maharishi School students, we strive to follow the motto, well begun is half done. And so we come to the second and final award today. Ms. Higgins will now announce the Maharishi Middle School Award of Excellence to the student who epitomized excellence in all areas of academia, leadership, and school life over the course of their time in middle school, and who strove to seek the highest first in every endeavor. Please welcome Ms. Higgins.
Last year, I began this speech with a nod to what excellence really means. So as we take the time to acknowledge and celebrate this year's Middle School Excellence Award winner, I'd like to take a collective pause to consider, what does this quality really mean to you? Oftentimes, things like perfection, superiority, or intelligence come to mind. And while these terms represent an excellent person's accomplishments, they miss the mark of identifying the internal character traits that drive and advance external achievement. My personal favorite definition of excellence comes from Aristotle, a Greek philosopher, polymath, and scientist. In his words, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. To achieve excellence, we must always seek to do the right thing, for ourselves and for others. Excellence is the result of caring deeply about what we do and of consistently putting our best efforts into what it is that we care about. It is an outward expression of inner integrity, passion, and a commitment to truly making the world a better place. Embodying excellence isn't always easy, but I believe that it is one of the most powerful things we can do for ourselves. The process of striving and struggling and pushing ourselves to new heights is how we develop our inherent talents and gifts. It's how we make ourselves stronger, smarter, and more capable of making a difference for others. And at the end of the day, I think that's what really matters. So these are the qualities that we honor in our recipients of the Maharishi Middle School Excellence Award. This year, we celebrate a student who acts with integrity, who consistently stands up for what's right, who challenges themselves to be the best they can be, and who is committed to both embodying and achieving excellence for the greater good. Antariksha. That one this year. Really liked. Let's see. It is my pleasure to officially present you with the 2022 Excellence Award. I'm not quite done yet. We have a few more words about her. So getting to know Antariksha over the past 3 years has been both a delight and a privilege. I have watched her curiosity, capacity, and competence as a learner blossom and grow tremendously over this time. She is an absolute joy to teach. She thinks deeply and comprehensively, is fiercely intelligent, and is always willing to go above and beyond expectations to facilitate the learning and understanding of her peers. She has a powerful combination of humility, empathy, and patience that will take her far in life, regardless of the path that you choose. Antariksha, I wholeheartedly believe that you can accomplish absolutely anything you put your mind and heart into. We are so very proud of you and cannot wait to see the positive impact you make on this world.
Thank you very much, Ms. Higgins. Wrong page. Now it's time to call upon Ms. Jacob and Ms. Bhakta to come to the stage to present the remaining graduates with a flower and a certificate of recognition.
Yeah, we've added a few bells and whistles this year. You might have noticed. We used to think that just announcing an award was its own intrinsic reward, and that's true. That is true. But we've also decided it's nice to have a memento when you win something, right? Or when you graduate. So we've actually created certificates for the 2 award winners you just heard, but also for each of the students. And the teachers got together and added some qualities or personal attributes to each of the students that we really love them and admire them for. So this year they're going to be getting a rose and a certificate, which is something they can keep and share with you. So that's why we're going to have this little ending ceremony now.
Okay, so as your name is called, come up on the stage, receive your certificate of recognition, your flower, and your official handshake of graduating middle school. Okay, first, Pujita Mukadam. Michaela Cox. Kieran Wallace. Max Rudman. Robert Griggs. Aditi Patak. And then we have the Sony Singh. And Antariksha Sharma. Good job. Before I call upon Dr. Bell to lead the charge, I'd like to now invite to the stage a senior member of faculty who would like to share some inspirational words with us. Please come up on stage.
Hello everyone. Since I'm from high school science teacher, that's why they call me senior member. But no, it's about I'm seeing more experienced teacher than me here, right here. So the reason I'm here, I would like to specifically call Pujita Mukhadam for her Science Fair Award because she come up with a device which can actually help colorblind people to recognize if any fruit is ripen or not. So her project got special recognition in regional and state, and they decided to send a device for her as a special award, which we are still about to receive. So I don't have a physical thing right here, but we wanted to mention that she is also achieving that particular device to take her interest further in electric and machine making. So congratulations again. Keep the good work up.
We have now reached the final part of our ceremony this afternoon, the charge. Dr. Bell will now take the lead and give the charge to the new high schoolers and new 8th graders. Please welcome Dr. Bell to the stage.
Thank you, Pujita. You hear that? It sounded like 2026. Sony and Kieran and Max and Robin and Aditya and Michaela and Pujita and Richard, your voices in 2026. Whispering to you. Open every door. Talking. Open every door. So it's kind of like a movie theater where you get your ticket, and that's what you're having right now. And over the summer, it's like when you get to go to the concession stand and get all the good stuff and all that, right? And then you go into the theater. The show starts. The show's going to start in 9th grade. Because for some reason, that's what colleges decided long ago, was when your grade point average should begin to count. So you're the class of 2026, right? So when you're a senior in 2026, you're going to look back on your 9th grade year and say, you know, that counted just as much as the classes I took as a senior. I started building my grade point average. I started opening the doors to institutions in 2026 and 2022. So next year begins a really serious phase of your academic work. It's going to count, and it's going to determine which doors open to you when you cross the stage as a senior in 4 years. So there's a couple of ways you can react to that. You know, panic and worry and all that. Or you can react the way you would when you go to a movie, with excitement and anticipation. Just like at the movies over in Ottumwa or in Iowa City, you get a choice, right? You can choose which movie you go to. You can be a part of our rocketry team, or a speech team, or soccer, or tennis, or destination imagination. You choose which theater you're going to go to, where you're going to choose excellence. Do that. And that voice in 2026 is going to be very happy with you, because you will have begun building that foundation for your future success right away in 9th grade. So anticipate what you'd like to do. Enjoy the summer, the fruits, the popcorn, all the stuff you'll do this summer. But when you come into 9th grade, be ready for the excitement and the foundation, not just of that year or of high school, but your whole future. So it's a really significant day today. So across the stage, gotten your 8th grade certificates and graduation, and all the recognition you so much deserve. We loved hearing from you, and I loved seeing you in Hunter School next year. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bell. These 2 years might be over, but we still have 4 years of high school and the rest of our lives ahead of us to dream big and follow our goals. Thank you, everyone, for coming to celebrate our special day this afternoon. Please join us for refreshments in the back of the room. And 8th grade class, at last, we're free.